Hello, 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 hello. Um, hello, and welcome back to another. I was gonna say episode, but it's not an episode; it's a video. Well, technically, episode slash video um, of mine. I am Hanifa Griffith, and yeah, I know you probably may watch my last video and be like, is that the same sweatshirt she has on? Why, yes, it is. I have several like comfort shirts that I really like to wear. This is my new favorite one. It's also in my favorite one of my favorite colors. It's oversized, and yeah, I'm comfortable. Um, but I was trying to figure out what this week's video was going to be. Like, what did I want to talk about? And to to be quite frank, I didn't know. I had not a clue, not a clue, not a clue. So then I decided to like go. This is my idea journal, or just like idea slash dump journal, where I just like write thoughts, write ideas that I wanna accomplish, should accomplish, will accomplish. And I was just like flipping through, and where is it? I ended up landing, like seeing idea for a video that I had. Well, two ideas. One that I recorded already, but will be redoing because I don't know. I just didn't. I don't know. It just didn't feel right. And the second one was my relationship with my hair. And it's just kind of crazy because I took out my braids this morning, and yeah, I just was like thinking a little bit about my relationship with my hair. So I was like, you know what, I can talk about that. So that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to be about my relationship with my hair in this current stage of my life. Just as all good stories, there's always a beginning, a middle, and an end. And the beginning of my story with, hold on, is this recording? There's no way for me to check. Hold on. Please hold. Okay, I think it is recording. Um, the beginning of the beginning of is that what I want to say? Why is it like sung weird? The beginning of my relationship with my hair started off, I would say, the fondest memory that I have of my hair, or like the moment when I knew my relationship with my hair was mine and not mine plus other people, was actually when I was in, I want to say either form 4 or form 5, or even probably, this is I think form 5 primary school, not secondary school. This was when I started to do or become more aware of what it means to move in this world as a black body. And I just found so much empowerment in my hair while, reading about very prominent figures like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Kwame True, dang, I can't remember her name, but all these other people. And I just found myself being or forming a very deep relationship with my hair, to the point where I remember, this is the moment I was talking about. I remember my friends and I were going to Movie Town, and I was like, I am wearing my afro. Nobody can tell me otherwise. I already had it out. I wore a little suit. I remember this so. This was wow. I remember this like this other day, like the other day. I remember wearing like I had a blue blazer. I really think it's my mom's own, and a white top with jeans and a nice little I think I wore heels. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I wore heels, and I had my afro out, and I was like, "Ooh, yes, I feel like me." And I was waiting for my dad to come and pick me up, and I remember him seeing how my hair was, and he was like, "No child of mine is gonna be going out with the hair looking like that. It has to be tamed." And I cried. I'm not gonna lie to you, because hair was stepping into like this version of myself that I just felt so empowered by. And then for that to be shut down by somebody that I love, I was like, damn, okay. And I remember going to my mom and telling her like, yeah, my like dad doesn't want me to, he doesn't want to drop me to Movie Town unless I fix my hair. And I can't remember what she said, but I just ended up like going back outside, and I was like, no, I'm going like this. And so said so done, I did. And that was like the first time that I've ever felt like, okay, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, I can really, one, do what I want to do in terms of like expression. That's New York. In terms of like expression, and also just standing up for a part of myself that felt right. You know, like I felt like I needed to do that. You know, like I wanted to do that, and I did it. So I don't know. There's something to say about that. I don't know if I really like put that into words, but I just felt very empowered in that moment. And from that point on, my relationship with my hair, I had a lot of autonomy around it. I remember at one point, I had like a TWA, and this is that was like the beginning, but this story is like part two to like the beginning of my autonomy. So the other moment that I remember with my hair was, this was probably like after my parents separated. It was not a very pretty sight. So I was going through a lot. And I remember one day, like, I just got so depressed and so angry, and I was so sad. And I had a TW, and I just remember just like taking a scissors and I ended up like zugging up my hair, and I had patches, I had bald spots. And the only way for me to like actually fix my hair was to go bald. So my mom found a barber, and that was the first time where I was like, ooh, short hair? I like it. I like it. And then from that moment on, that's when I just kind of fell in love with having short hair, having my hair dyed. And I think it also created a relationship with my hair where, like, if something was to happen, I can just like start over, you know? So I don't think a lot of people know, but when I would shave my hair bald or dye my hair, it was always like in a moment where I needed a fresh start. Kind of like a phoenix, high key, you know, burning from the ashes and starting all over again. So yeah, whenever I would dye my hair, cut my hair, do anything with my hair, it was really me signifying a fresh start, because I truly do believe like energy is held in our hair. And in my mind, I was like, well, if energy is held in my hair, I'm gonna get rid of that energy, because you only want to stay with me. No, 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 no. So I would cut and dye my hair. But ever since having my abortions last year, there has been a very drastic shift in the relationship with my hair and what it means to me, or like what it, like how I want to feel when I look into the mirror when it comes to my hair. And I found myself wanting to have hair and have my hair in its most natural state without like touching it. And I don't know if this is because I think there's like several reasons why I'm in this point where I don't want to shave or dye my hair. One being when I think about being a mom right now, because of course that can change, I think about myself having locks, which is so crazy because my mom had locks when she had my brothers and I. So it's kind of crazy how like that is what I think about when I think about like motherhood, or like how I want to look, out on the outside, that is, as a mom. Um, so yeah, when I think about motherhood now, I think about like, well, not motherhood, or I should say, when I think about how I would want to look while being pregnant and having kids, I see myself having locks. Um, and then the second part to that is, whoa, not me forgetting, damn it. um, the second part is right. And I think I said this in like later videos, but there has been such a deep, deep shift in my identity, in my being, that has really shaken me at its core, to the point where now when I think about who I am and who I want to kind of return to, or who I feel more at home in, or what form of my vessel I feel most at home in, it's this vision. It's a vision with hair. It's a vision in its most natural state without like running. Because I really do think when I was shaving and dyeing my hair, I was running. I was running from pain. I was running from my reality, because at some point it felt like, oh, this is happening. Okay, I can just dye my hair and, focus on that. So, I don't know. I just felt like I was running from something when I was shaving and dyeing my hair. And now that I'm in this point in my life where I feel like there can't be any more running, it's like, okay, I'm gonna put my big girl pants on and deal with it. And I don't know, I just feel like this is the version of myself that I want to be. I don't know. Does that make sense? I hope it makes sense. Yeah, I just feel like there's no more running, no more distracting of myself. Yeah, and it's crazy because like I remember there's like this video that I made, and I was talking about how like there's pre-abortion self, like myself during abortion, and now this vision of myself, and how for like the past months or weeks after my abortions, I would try to get back to this past version of myself. But I've been realizing, I mean, now that I'm like speaking this out loud, how much this new version of myself I am beginning to love. Because once again, there's no more running. There's no more running. I'm not running from anything. I'm not running to anything. I'm just here, I'm here, and I'm trying to work through what it means to be here. And I think that's kind of like what grief does in some sense. I think grief forces us to be in the moment in which grief demands to be felt. And yes, we have like this inclining to run and to hide, but sometimes we can't, and sometimes we just have to be in this moment and feel what it what it is demanding for us to be felt. And yeah, I just feel like this is a version of myself that is doing that, I guess. So yeah, my relationship with my hair has become one where I think I'm also dreaming of a future, which is so crazy because I never would really dream, to be honest with you. Um, like, I would have goals, but I wouldn't dream of what life would look like for me. And I don't know why, to be honest, but let me not say I wouldn't dream. I would have like an idea here and there, but there's some things that I just never dreamt about. I never dreamt about motherhood. Never dreamt about really like being married or you know things. But now I'm dreaming of those things, and I would hope, pray, love if one day I can get those things. And um, yeah, why did I bring that up? I really can't remember. But yeah, my relationship with my hair is something that that I am loving. I'm not gonna lie to you, because it feels like I'm returning to self. Um, I'm returning to self, and I'm not self in terms of like pre-abortion self, or I'm just returning to a point of me that I feel most comfortable in, and I love that for me. And I love my hair. Like when I get my locks, shake my dread, shake my dread, shake. What Sexy Red said. Yeah, that's gonna be me because I'm gonna get locks. Clock it. I'm gonna get my locks. I'm just really excited for what this version of myself is gonna bring. Let me just make sure. I didn't write much, to be honest, about this topic, but I just want to make sure I touch on the points that I did right. um, oh, so this is a point. Okay, I know I kind of like shitted on what it meant like to dye my hair. That's like only one part, but on the other part of me dyeing and shaving my hair, one thing that it really did show me is just how adaptable I am. Because I kid you not, with every time I would shave and I would dye my hair, it always brought about some type of anxiety, because I'm like, oh my god, wow, this is a new version of myself. Hold on, I gotta get accustomed, and I would get accustomed, and then I would fall in love, and then so it just kind of showed me how good I am in terms of adapting and being adventurous and just trying new things on myself, and not feeling scared, because I think at one point, I remember when I first shaved my hair off, I was like, oh, okay, if this is what I look like when I'm bald, I mean, shit, bring it on, So there was never like a fear of what if X, Y, and Z was supposed to happen. How would I look? I just felt very liberated when I would shave my hair off, because it also like not tethered. It also dismantled, erased my connection from beauty to my hair. They were never, like my beauty wasn't dependent on my hair wasn't dependent on my beauty. I was just, you know. So that I'm very grateful for, because what I think is India said, I'm not my hair. Yeah, I stood on that. I'm not my hair. My hair does not define me and define who I am. And I'm beautiful in all versions of myself. Yeah. But yeah, it's been very interesting to see the changes of myself after my abortion. You know, they it's crazy the things that have changed post abortion. I never thought in a million gazillion quadrillion years would ever change, or like would be a byproduct of me having an abortion. It's crazy to think about. But yeah, that is my relationship with my video. I'm not gonna yap anymore because I could do it. Trust and believe. But yeah, thank you for listening and sitting and listening to my video. If you would like, you can like, subscribe, maybe leave a little comment if you want to. And yeah, catch me next week for another video. Mwah. Did I just send you a kiss? Yeah, I did. Peace.